Hey, Duane here from BBR Motorsports. I'm going to take you guys on a backyard tour today of how we build the frames in-house and kind of give you a walk through the shop and show you what's all involved with producing one of our frames. So let's go out in the shop and check it out. The first step of building the frames usually starts with me. I come out and disassemble a bike and usually just kind of hack together the first one, get a prototype. These up here, these are all frame number ones, perimeter frame, 50 number one, Super Pro number one, 110, 150, whatever it is. I come out and just literally hack one together, cut big blocks of aluminum, shape, bend, get it close before it ever goes into the engineering department where they draw it and spend all the time and money. So they want me to come in with something close to give them a starting point. Usually the first thing I do, say with the 110, is I get the bike, take it all apart, and I make a fixture that holds all of the given points, the head tube angle, where the engine goes, swing arm, things like that, so that it's a starting point. And we'll start by showing you how that works. This is what one of the basic fixtures looks like. It's just bars welded together, and it gives a place to bolt the head tube on, the side spars, the perimeter tubes, swing arm mounts, things like that. So once that's done, then I kind of start by making cardboard templates in the shape of what I think the frame's going to look like. In this case, it's going to be a perimeter. We usually do that just because the perimeter tubes, they grab the outsides of the swing arms and keep the swing arm from flexing. It's real solid up to the head tube. That's the key to making these things just pound through the whoops, and the rest stuff is they've got to be stiff. So perimeter is where we usually start on these things. I'll make cardboard templates and things and then cut out blocks of aluminum and start hanging them on there to see if that's the look and shape of things we want. So we'll show you how we do that. Usually I'll start out by making templates out of cardboard and measuring where all the holes need to be on the fixture. The cardboard templates kind of let me see what the frame's going to look like, so I can just get a visual of it. Then I start machining the blocks, getting the holes in them, getting the width, just start squaring everything up, kind of the old-fashioned way. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks of just kind of hacking and cutting and getting the general shape of something that can be welded together for the first prototype. So once I have all the pieces kind of whittled out, we get it fixtured up and I hand it off to Scott, and he welds the thing together, and we can put together the first prototype bike and start testing. Usually the first one's kind of a mess, and I'll come back and literally cut the head tube, the spars, everything, and start tweaking and moving. Or a lot of times just start over and do another one, but this gives us a starting point. And once I have one that's running pretty good, then I can test the thing into the ground. I mean, it just takes a million laps to get the feel of these things. We have, some of the best riders in the world. We've gotten to test with Carmichael, Villapoto, Jeremy McGrath, even the fast mini bike guys, Costella and Abrigo, all those guys. We go out and test them with them, make sure the thing's going to be close. Once those guys have it dialed, I mean, we'll go all the way from the secretary, across the board, kids, everybody. I let test them, ride them, make sure we're on the right track. When it comes back, then we have to make an aluminum gas tank for it so that we can ride it. Usually I make 2 at once. One of them I'll cover in Bondo and start sanding the thing and molding it and getting it to flow in. And when I have the look I want, I can send that gas tank off to the molder, and they mold them out of plastic, and then that goes into the production line. Same thing with the side panels. They have to just literally be hand pounded out of aluminum. And I'll cover them with Bondo, shape them, get the look of what I think it's going to be, and that also goes to the molder, and they mold the side panels to go along with it. Alright, once we get the original prototype frame number 1 handling, steering, and fitting the way we want, we take the thing into engineering, and these guys try to make it into a production type frame. So let's go see these guys. Kurt and Chris are in-house engineers, and when the frame's ready to go, I hand it off to them, and they try to make something out of it. So Kurt, make something out of this frame. My job's done.
Yeah. Now we got like a week to do it too, right?
Well, we're gonna race it this weekend.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we'll get it done real quick. First thing we got to do is we got to pick up all of Duane's hard points, which are the motor mounts and the head tube angle and pivot bolts and stuff like that. And we got our micro scribe over here. Basically, what we'll do is we'll fixture that up, and this arm basically knows where it is in space all the time. And we can pick up all the motor mounts and the frame geometry that Duane liked when he rode. We'll translate it in the computer. Once we have all that data down, we can send it back over to SolidWorks where we model it up.
After we get the points picked up with the microscribe, we can bring it inside of SolidWorks. You can see here we have the CRF 150R frame, and you can see some of the points that we use, like off the air boot, to make sure that the air boot's going to clear the side of the frame. Eventually we end up having almost every part of the bike onto the frame in the computer, nuts, bolts, everything down to the exhaust system. Put all those in, make sure clearances look good on the computer, and then after that we'll send the parts out and have them rapid prototyped. We can assemble a frame just like this from the rapid prototype parts, and then we can put the whole bike together and make sure the chain's going to clear, make sure the airbox clears, all that kind of stuff. And from there, we'll start stress testing it and making sure everything looks good.
After we're sure everything's going to fit, all the nuts, bolts, chains, everything, we can start optimizing the frame, taking weight out here, thinning the tubes up, and we run a stress analysis on the frame after that, make sure it's not going to break. And basically, you can see where it's loaded up and see all the hot spots, stuff like that. It'll show the deformed shape. We do that to every part on the frame, make sure it's going to hold up to Pastrana missing a double backflip or something like that.
After Chris and Kurt have engineered the frame and have it ready to go, we take it over to Aaron and he converts the code on it into something that's machinable. Show us what you got, Aaron. I mean, you can literally run the tool path and everything, can't you?
Yeah, right now we're using Mastercam, which is computer-aided manufacturing, to cut. This is the shock mount for the Perimeter 110 frame. And this will generate the CNC code, which we'll take out and run on one of our machines.
Perfect.
Right now it's cutting the sides of the swing arm. That's all 3D stitching they won't be able to.
Alright, this is what the production frame looks like. There's as many as 50 different individual billet parts that go into these, and it takes about 6 months to get to this point, so a lot of work goes into it. Another process that gets started here too is the paperwork trail. If we come up with any names or special pieces for them, we have to do trademarks and patents on them. There's guys out there, you know, unethical competitors that have no problem sending this stuff overseas, so we have to protect ourselves with all the paperwork. But goes from here onto the heat treat process, and we'll take you there. Once the production parts are done, Sal and Jeff and Scott, they figure out a way to weld them production style so that we can do them fairly quickly and in the correct order. Once the frame is welded together, it goes out for a heat treating process, because after it's welded it goes into a state which is called O condition. It's really soft, almost like foil, so it has to be sent out and baked and cycled so it goes all the way back to T6 hardness, which is, you know, almost as hard as steel. Alright, when the frames come back from the heat treater, they look like they're kind of burnt and brown, so we have to send them out for another process where they basically acid dip them and clean them up. You know, once the frames have gone through machining and welding, heat treating, the whole process, they've been signed off up front, then they come back to assembly for final inspection, and they get assembled here and quality checked, boxed, and they're ready to ship out.
Open the door.
Alright, this is Brent. He's the general manager at BBR. He happens to be one of the brothers, and his job is to keep the guardrails on so we don't crash this thing and go racing every day. Alright, this is Larry. He's our sales manager at BBR. He's basically ridden and raced every bike and product we have. So if you're a dealer and want to get set up, or an angry mom, or whatever, just give him a ring at extension 503. Alright, this is Ryan. He is one of our sales guys, and he knows all the products in and out, all the part numbers. He's actually test-ridden every one of the bikes, raced them, messed with them. So if you have any questions about that stuff, you can catch him at 505. Alright, that's the 5-minute tour of how we build a frame at BBR. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions at all about the BBR frames, or any other parts for that matter, feel free to call our staff. Everyone here rides and loves these bikes and parts, so give us a ring anytime.